Hello and welcome back to Imprisoned Investigations 2. Last time, we played through the entirety of the first end sequence for the Imprisoned Turnabout, which was almost 2 hours in length. And today, we'll be finishing up the Imprisoned Turnabout, no matter how long it takes. March 29, 10:12 a.m., Prison Courtyard. The Courtyard. Depending on what we find here, the entire incident could become clear. However, there's nothing left here! Oh, does that mean it's time to use the little thief? Yesterday. Or is it time to use another one of Gumshoe's mystery mouska tools? Isn't there one more possibility? The well in the courtyard. It's possible the body was dropped down from there. In other words, the body being dropped down the well and then moved to the workroom could only have been done during the show. And the only one who could have done it is Simon Keyes. Was the body dropped down the well or not? This could be the decisive clue that we need to reach the truth of the matter. Before I continue with this investigation, I should organize my evidence. Unnecessary evidence has been removed. Remaining evidence has been rearranged. Let's see here. Hey, there's a grate here. The well's run dry after all. They even put a lock on it. Lockpicking is one of my specialties. Wanna see? There is absolutely no need for you to show off. Oh, come on, don't be like that. Whoa! What happened, Kay? The lock is broken, judging from the looks of it. It feels like it was broken some time ago. So the lock was broken. This means that anyone could have dropped the body down this well. According to Judge Courtney's reasoning, Mr. Keyes murdered Knightley in the courtyard, and then, during the show, he disposed of the body in the well. You think so? Did he really use the well to move the body? Ah, I know! Let's get Missile to help us out again! He should be able to track the scent of the body. Good idea. Let me contact Detective Gumshoe. Well, what's probably more likely, because there was something yesterday about how Simon was blown away. That has something to do with how the body was dropped down the well. Yes, sir, Detective Gumshoe here. Detective, I have a favor to ask of you. We would like for you to bring Missile to the prison courtyard. Sounds like you need the help of one of my 7 secret weapons again, huh, sir? I thought Missile belonged to the police department. And also, I would like for you to contact a witness. Please contact Regina Berry of the Berry Big Circus and bring her here. Roger that, sir. I'll bring them over in a flash. So, what should we do while we wait for Gummy? How about some hide and seek? What are you talking about, Kay? There's nowhere to hide here. I don't think that is the issue. Kay, during times like this, isn't it your turn to shine? Haha, little thief time. Oh, that! You want me to recreate the crime scene? Huh? How do you do that? See for yourself, the great thief's secret weapon, Little Thief! Whoa, what's that? Screen's floating in midair. Just what are you doing, Kay? I'm entering the information needed for the simulation. Mr. Shields, this Little Thief is a tool that can recreate a crime scene based on the information it is given. Should I set it for how this place was like when we came here yesterday? Yes, I believe they were in the middle of taking down the set. We didn't pay enough attention to the well, so it's possible we may have missed a clue. Leave it to me! I took a picture of the place too. Well, that certainly helps. There, and there. Data entry complete. Now to set the projection to maximum output. Dark skies of evening, when no other bird dares take wing, one alone remains all-seeing. Now witness to the true power of a real modern-day Robin Hood. What? What just happened? I recreated the courtyard from yesterday based on the information I entered. This was a tool the previous Yatagarasa used. It's a device to run simulations to practice stealing things. But used in this manner, we can inspect the crime scene as it was in the past. Oh, but it's still only a recreation based on what information we have. I can't recreate what I don't have information for, and if my information is incorrect, the recreation could come out strange too. In this case, since Kay had the photo, there should be no problems. Now, let's begin the investigation. Okay, well, the first thing that we need to do, since the recreation, you can examine things just like you always do. You can even present evidence when you find a contradiction. Yep, we played the first game. Yes, I know. First, I should start with that well. Alright, yep, first things first, let's head over to the well and just check it all. Actually, wait, first thing I want to see is the elephant. The elephant, yeah, the elephant is indeed still here. What was the elephant's name again? It was, Astique, right? Yeah, Astique the Asian elephant. Oh, that's a piece of logic. The elephant was the killer all along. totally confirmed. The elephant with it, the sheer weight of the elephant dragged the body down the well. Mystery solved, case closed. Calling it a day, we're going home. Ah, that's right. It's an easy name to remember. Maybe they couldn't think of a good name, so they gave her a name that's easy to remember. Mr. Edgeworth, what a terrible thing to say about poor Astique. Is the alligator also? Okay, the alligator is not here. I can examine the swamp or the pond or whatever, but unfortunately, the alligator is nowhere to be seen. Okay, now we can examine the well. Let's examine the area around the well. It holds the key to this case. Okay, so what do we have? We have sheets and a pulley. I think those look like hooks for a pulley system, which would make sense combined with the rope here. And then we have weights. I can also shift up. Okay, so at first glance, Simon said he was pulled away, right? Okay, so, and there's a weight here. No, that wouldn't. Oh, wait, yes it would. Okay, so, my thought process, my initial thought process of what this all means is, so we have a pulley system in the sheets, similar to the sheets we found in the workroom. We have a rope, and we have a weight over here. My thought process was, so maybe if Simon needed to be pulled away somewhere, he could hook up a pulley system with this with this right here, and then as the weights drop down the well, then he would be pulled back, and it would create the illusion of him being blown away. The problem with that is, of course, I don't think Simon weighs less than 33 pounds, so he would need a little bit more weight to accomplish that effect. But since we know the body was dropped down the well, if the body was also attached to the rope, that would give him enough force to be able to pull to be able to be yanked backwards. So let's just start examining everything. This is a middleweight. It weighs. It's hard to see in the recreation. Okay, do you remember? Yeah, 33 pounds, like I said. I think it was 33 pounds. I wonder what such a heavy thing was used for. It doesn't seem to be directly related to the circus. I'm guessing it's gonna be what Simon did to get the body down the well. Not that I think he did it. In fact, I think this definitely clears him of suspicion, because anybody could have done this. Anybody. In fact, actually, you know what? The alibi doesn't mean anything anymore. Assuming I'm correct here, and that is what happened with this well and how Simon flew backwards, then it could only have, like, it could have been anybody. The being at the show doesn't matter anymore, because the body would have already had to been attached to the rope, so the murder would have had to been done beforehand. So basically, being at the show does not clear suspicion anymore. So, that's useful information. It didn't appear to be the pulley that was used to lift the bucket from the well. And then we have a rope here. It's a sturdy hem rope. It looks like the rope that they use for tug-of-wars. I'm not going to play tug-of-war with you. I didn't even say anything yet. There's a metal stake attached to the end of the rope. Ah, you use these to pin down the tent when you go camping. It doesn't seem like they need this for the performance. I wonder what it was used for. Okay, have I examined everything? Oh, I guess, looks like there's everything. I guess we can also examine. Oh, we can examine this. That much I can examine. This pulley was used to lift the bucket from the well. The bucket can't be found. Okay, and then I guess the only thing we have left to examine is the grate on the well. The well was behind the stage. That means only a few people would have access to dump the body in the well during the performance. This isn't looking good for Mr. Keys. No, because if the body was already attached to the rope, then that doesn't matter. These things around the well, what were they used for? I think I can assume pretty well what they were used for. I mean, we don't have logic for it yet, but we know what they were used for. Trust me, we know they were used to get Simon to launch Simon backwards and to drop the body down the well. It doesn't seem to be related to the animal show. I agree. We can ask Mr. Berry about it later. That's all the information we can gather for now. The detective should be here soon, too. Okay, go ahead and shut down Little Thief. Alright, returning to the area to normal. Well, as normal as it can get. But yeah. Also, I think they updated the visuals for what it looks like when the little green screens appear around the Little Thief. Sorry to keep you waiting, sir. Gumshoe and one undesirable guest. Hey, speak of the gummy! Detective Gumshoe. That was quick. I'm going to keep you waiting for too long, sir. Thanks for coming along too, No problem. It sounded like fun, so I skipped practice to come here. Ah, I'm sure your teammates loved you for that, because everyone knows that when you're in a team of people and you agree to meet somewhere at a certain time to practice something or to do something, and then someone backs out at the last second, everyone loves you when that happens. First detective, let's have Missile do system tracking. No problem, sir. Hey, Missile, over here, pal. Missile? You good? Hey, what's in you, pal? I said over here. Missile? What's the matter? It looks like he's scared of something. Sir, best guess, I would go with Regina. Or that also works, but, I was unaware that the alligator was up and about when he was barking, but, alligator? I guess he's scared of the alligator, sir. Good grief. Looks like Missile won't be much help to us. So what should we do, Miles? Maybe we can ask Miss Berry for help.
What is it? What is it? Is there something I can do? Do you want me to teach Allie a trick?
No, I do not. Actually, she probably could. No, I just need you to tell me about the condition of the courtyard during the show.
Looks like it's my time to shine again.
Yes, if you please. Yeah, this definitely looks like an upgraded visual effect from the first Investigations game.
Alright, that should do it. I'm starting the recreation now.
Yeah, that looks way cooler in this one than it did in the first one. During the show.
Recreation complete. This time you can see how the courtyard was during the animal show.
This should be around the time that the body was dropped down the well.
Wow, cool. It's just like magic. Hey, it's not magic. I just recreated the scene based on the information you gave us. See? Look over there.
The backstage area is missing.
Well, Regina didn't help with the preparations, so she doesn't really know how it was set up.
I get it. You can't recreate what you don't have the information for, huh?
I'm sorry. It's because Simon took care of setting everything up.
Don't worry yourself none. Regina Pie. Miles is the one at fault. Wait, how is this my fault? Why me?
Mr. Edgeworth, I've recreated the show in progress. But I can also change it to how it was earlier, when it was being taken down.
I see, so we can examine the courtyard during the show, and after the show. We can freely switch between the two different stages, or different states. To change the recreation, select Little Thief on the bottom screen. Or, for you guys, the screen on the side, because that's how I have my layout set up. Now, let's begin the investigation. Okay, here we go, beginning the investigation. So, can we see Simon? Is this Simon right here?
A love story between an elephant and a tiger. I really wanted to see that.
Did you now?
I also wanted to see Simon in action.
Did you now?
Simon is really amazing, especially the part where he gets blown away.
Oh, okay. I think we might be about to get the piece of logic we need. Blown away. That's the scene in question.
At that point, the suspect in the role of the villain is blown away by the heroine's burning love and makes his exit. As being blown away, the suspect disappeared from the stage.
Are you saying the crime was committed during that time? Do you know how long he was gone from the stage?
Let me think. About 15 minutes or so.
It's just as George Courtney said.
But isn't it dangerous to be blown away by an elephant? It's alright. I think it's very gentle.
That's not who we're worried about here.
During the first few practices, he was having trouble getting blown away. Then all of a sudden, he was able to be sent flying beautifully.
And I think we know how. He might use some sort of device. Oh yeah, we know. A device? Do you know anything about it?
I have no idea. Simon handled it all by himself.
Alright, there's the piece of logic we need. There's the piece of logic that we need to put this all together. Okay. So. Oh yeah, we can change this. So basically just the partner button. The partner button has been replaced with change recreation of Little Thief. Is that... Wait. This wasn't here before. This was over here before. Oh? This crate was empty in the recreation earlier.
That's right! It was also empty in the picture I took.
Okay, well, why it's empty is obvious, because the elephant ate all the apples. That part's obvious. But the question is, why was it moved?
I'm sorry, that information is wrong.
What do you mean?
This crate contained Astique's food.
Yeah, I figured as much. In the morning, wait, I mean, so, he ate all the apples in one day. I can buy that. It's an elephant.
In the morning of the day of the show, all the apples were gone. I totally forgot about that. I'm sorry.
Missing apples, huh? I should make a note of it. Astique's feed, that might supposed to be, is that supposed to say food? I'm not sure. was there the day before the show, but was gone the next morning. That's very strange. I mean, the food being gone is not strange, but the reason, because I mean, I'll switch back to the other one, but this was,
Yeah, what's up?
change recreation.
You want to recreate the after the show scene from yesterday?
Yes, I do.
The after the show scene from yesterday has been recreated.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, it was moved. It was, that's, what does the store lead to? This door is locked.
Want me to pick the lock? Success is not guaranteed, though.
No, if need be, I'll just borrow a key.
Sheesh. I thought it was finally a chance for me to steal the spotlight.
Don't even think about stealing anything in my presence. Not even the spotlight. Okay, well, so much for that plan. I was hoping to figure out what's through this door. Wait, is it the warden's office? No, it's not the warden's office. Okay, so I thought, because the warden's office is connected over here, but no, that's on the other side of the garden over there. But no, because we're moving up here, so it's not the warden's office. So I don't know what this room is, but whatever's in there must be important. If someone had to move the apples out of the way to get to the door, so I guess I wasn't quite done examining. I just wanted to check to see what was going on with the apples, to see if I could get into the door. So that's about all I had. That's about all I had to examine there. But we should be able to start investigating some. We should be able to start like connecting some pieces of logic together, I think. Also, Ray is just mesmerized over here by the alligators. I doubt there's much to examine over here. We already checked it out beforehand. Does Gumshoe, can I use any of your mystery mouse tools? Mr. Edgeworth, you got that look on your face like you want to use my secret weapons. Yes, I do actually. Miss wasn't in the mood, but I got my fishing rod ready to go. Or would you prefer the metal detector? It appears my question's been answered for me. Okay, we have a metal detector. Great, I have no use for a metal detector right now. I've never seen that detective's eyes sparkle like that. If need be, I'll let you know. For now, just stand by. Great, I have no use. Okay, let's just start connecting logic. I think we've examined everything we possibly can. So, that's a lot of logic. Okay, we have a lot of logic pieces. Okay, let's take this bit by bit, one step at a time. So, we know that the tools around the well were used to orchestrate Simon's stunts. Let's connect that first. We're gonna do this bit by bit, little by little. Mr. Keyes used a device for his stunt. Maybe the tools around the well are connected to this. Okay, I'd like to recheck the tools lying around the well yesterday. Can you change the recreation to the after the show scene?
Roger!
The tools lying around the well. Could they have been a part of his device?
It seems very likely. I wonder if it's possible to recreate the device.
If you ask Mr. Keyes, he should be able to tell you how the device was put together.
Alright, I'll go ask him.
I mean, we could probably put it together ourselves. It's not exactly rocket science to make a pulley system. I'm assuming I'm correct. Of course.
Mr. Edgeworth, I asked him about it.
And, did you find out how the device works?
He used a rope to hang some weights on the well's pulley.
Okay, yep.
The weights were suspended inside the well. Then, he ran the rope through 2 more pulleys.
Yup, that lines up with what we found there. And tied the end of the rope to somebody. Yup. And then the weight drops down the well, and then he gets pulled back. So they use the force of the water weights to send him flying. But what's to stop the weights from falling on their own?
In order to prevent that from happening, he used a stopper.
Miss Berry didn't know anything about the well. That means Mr. Keyes removed the stopper by himself?
Correct. That's why a second rope was needed. This rope was attached to the stopper, and when it was pulled from the stage,
the stopper would be removed, and the weights. By the way, this stunt right here is a very, very good way to break all the bones in your body, like very easily. But we did figure this out. This is how it works. The only problem with this recreation is that weight would not be enough to pull Simon down. He would need another weight, such as the body, as we suspected.
I'm definitely going to steal this idea. The Yatagrassi won't lose to something like this.
Don't waste your time. Circus acts require extensive training. Even if you steal the device, it won't do you any good.
Then, I'll train as well.
Before you start training, could you first update the recreation?
Oh yeah, you wanted me to recreate the device that was used in the performance. First, let's return to the during the show scene.
Next, I'll input the information to the device on the well. Now we can recreate the device Simon made.
So, this is the device that Mr. Keys used. Simon's device, data jotted on my organizer.
Simon sure is gutsier than he looks, using the following weights as the force to launch himself during his performance.
Indeed, he would have to drop enough weights to exceed his own body weight in order to provide the strength needed to pull himself off the stage. Okay, so let me guess. So we can connect that logic with the 33-pound weight logic.
Simon's practiced a lot for this.
Because there's no way that like the weights that we've seen would not be enough to pull him back. He definitely weighs more than 33 pounds. So I'm guessing that the body was also attached to the rope.
Huh? Isn't this strange?
What's wrong, pal?
Haven't you noticed, Detective?
What's strange about the weight is the weight itself. It's not heavy enough. It's not heavy enough, yep. Okay, so that's a piece of logic right there. And let me guess, now we need to use the Detective Gumshoe's metal detector to try to find any other weights around the area, and then what we're gonna discover is that there aren't any weights, and the only thing that could have been used to make the weight heavy enough would be Knightley's body. I'm guessing that's what we're going here, because we have the logic piece for the metal detector in order to pull up Mr. Keys' body weight.
You're right, sir.
But where did the rest of the weights disappear to?
Looks like it's time to use my 7-secret weapon, sir.
If necessary, I'll let the detective know. Oh, it's necessary, alright. So let's go ahead and connect to more logic together. We're slowly whittling down the amount of logic we have, so it's not heavy enough. So let's use the metal detector to find the remaining weights. Or rather, not find them and conclude that it was probably the body that fell down the well. Detective Gumshoe, it's time for your secret weapon.
Yes, sir.
I was hoping for the metal detector.
I don't get many chance to use this one.
I hope the fishing pole has the final payoff in this game. I don't know how, but I really, really freaking hope that the fishing pole is gonna be the thing that defines the climax of this game. I want the fishing pole to have its time to shine.
Before we begin the search, let me go over how to use the metal detector, sir. The metal detector uses sound.
Yep, same way it worked in Bridge to the Turnabout.
And this meter, to let you know how close you are to a metal object. When you get closer to a metal object, the metal detector will have a bigger reaction, like this. When you get to the biggest reaction, give me the order to examine that spot, sir. Now, let's see what we got. It's just the metal fence. And that's basically how you search for metal objects. Just give me the instructions on where you want to search, sir.
Okay, we're controlling Gumshoe. Gumshoe, yeah! This is the only time in the entire franchise we've been able to control Gumshoe. I'm gonna enjoy this. I'm gonna enjoy every second of this. We're just gonna search the whole area. We're just gonna have a casual stroll around with Gumshoe. This is the best part of any game right here, is getting to play as Gumshoe. Oh, we found something. In the alligator pond?
Yeah, there's a reaction here too, sir. Let's check it out. Huh? I found these in a clump of...
Oh, you did find more weights. That still wouldn't be enough. Even... Wait, how many are there? These are the weights used for that hoisting device. Were these intentionally hidden?
There's 4 of them in all, sir.
Okay, so 4... No, that still wouldn't be enough. There's no way. There's no way that would be enough.
That many weights when you have to...
Would it? I mean... I still... I don't know that Simon is that light, though. So the other weights that were used in the device were hidden. Why were they hidden over here, though?
See? I'm really earning my keep today, aren't I, sir?
Hello, Allie the alligator.
Ah! The alligator!
That scared me, pal. Huh?
What's the matter, detective?
It looks like the metal detector is reacting to this alligator.
Really? Why?
Are you sure it isn't still just reacting to the weights?
It's a different reaction, sir. And it's definitely coming from the alligator.
It's gone. That's... strange.
Looks like it's scared of us.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a big old no on that one.
I don't think so, Kay. Huh? If anything, I think Allie looks a little under the weather.
Ollie? I suppose that was what the Warden Rodent called it.
She didn't eat any of the food that the Warden gave her yesterday.
She didn't eat any of the food the warden gave her yesterday. Hey, can we check the alligator's mouth? Because this is not the first time in this case that somebody's hidden something inside the, inside an animal's mouth. And if the alligator didn't eat any food, makes me think there might be something stuck in her mouth.
So I guess the metal detector could be reacting to whatever the alligator ate.
Oh, maybe she ate one of the weights?
I thought that even an alligator could in just a 33-pound weight. But what could the metal detector be reacting to? And regardless, why were these weights hidden? Maybe we should take another look at the detective device on the well. Kay, I'd like you to recreate the after the show scene again.
Alright, leave it to me.
So now we need to look for proof that that Knightley's body was actually used. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. So actually, oh wait, actually I think we do have proof now, because there's only one rope here. There's only one rope here, and he needed 2 ropes to pull this off. So that's the proof. That's the proof right there, because there was a rope found around his body, and he needed 2 ropes to pull off, but there's only 1 rope here. This piece of evidence shows the contradiction with the crime scene.
Can you be more precise about where the contradiction is?
I'd also like to hear you explain it in more detail, sir.
Around here, but this is very, very obvious.
What? Wait, what do you mean? There's only 1 rope there.
Oh, is the rope not in the crime scene notes? It could be just me, but it feels like something is missing. Yeah, the rope is missing. Is the rope not in the crime? Is the rope not in the crimes? Oh, the rope's right here. Okay, fine. I thought the rope was in the. I was pretty sure we jotted down in the crime scene notes that there was a rope tied around. Okay, fine, whatever. What?
Still no? What do you mean? It's right there. What?
There's only 1 rope here. The other rope was found around Knightley's body. There should be 2 ropes here if we needed 2 ropes to pull off the stunt. What are you talking about?
2,000 years later.
Okay, maybe. So the crime scene note should have proven it because there's a rope found in the crime scene. The rope should have proven it because this is the rope we found in the crime scene. Maybe there's something else I can. Do I have to present this? Oh. Okay. That's annoying. That's stupid. I knew what the goddamn contradiction was. And by the way, both the rope and the crime scene notes should have been able to prove my point, because it's very simple logic. If there were 2 ropes that were supposed to be here, but there's only 1 rope here, then the fact that there was another rope there, or that the other rope was in the workroom, should have been the contradiction. But, okay, 1 of the ropes is missing.
You're right.
Without it, the device won't work.
I wonder what happened to it.
Where did the missing rope disappear to? It's possible that we hold the piece of evidence that shows where the rope went. Oh, let me guess. Now I present the rope. Now can I present the rope? Yes, I can. Okay, fine. The rope we found with the dead body.
Ah! Could it be?
Yes, it could be the other piece of the rope that was used here.
Then does that mean
this rope was attached to the weight? However, the weight was not one of these metal weights. These weights were hidden in the grass and replaced with something else.
If they were replaced, then what was reserved as the weight?
Oh, I know it was tied to the rope we found in the workroom. If we can recall that, then the answer should be clear. The weight that was dropped in place of the weights that Mr. Keys had prepared was Knightley's body. What dropped down the well was none other than Knightley's dead body.
Yeah, Mr. Knightley's body was used as the weight?
Yep, just like we said. Yes, the weights were replaced with Knightley's body. Mr. Keys used the device to launch himself off the stage. When the rope that was tied to him was undone and let go, both the body and the rope dropped down the well. The rope wasn't used to tie up Knightley. It was used to suspend him inside the well. That also explains why the other weights were hidden.
Ah! So that no one would find out that the weights were replaced with the body.
Yes, the killer was the one who hid those weights.
But Miles, wasn't Knightley's boy stabbed in the neck with a murder weapon? If he was suspended in the well, wouldn't there be blood at the bottom of the well?
Nope, because he was wrapped in the blanket. The killer was also aware of that. That's why they used this item. Which item did the killer use in order to leave no traces of blood behind? They used the bloodstained sheet. The sheet was found near the body. It was used to wrap up the body.
I see. It looks like all the pieces are starting to come together, eh? But this means that the body definitely came from the well. If that's the case,
wouldn't that mean Simon is the killer? Nope, absolutely not. It actually means the opposite of that, because he was, like, the thing is, being at the show doesn't clear you anymore, because anybody, anybody, whether you're watching it or not, could have set this up ahead of time. No. That's not necessarily true. That's not necessarily the case.
But yesterday, Judge Courtney said—
I don't care what she said. If Mr. Keys was a killer, would he have needed to set up such an elaborate device?
I guess you have a point.
Mr. Keys was only responsible for dropping the body during the show. In other words, it doesn't matter where the real killer was or what they were doing during the show. Until now, this placed the doubt on the people who did not watch the animal show.
It's true. We also suspected Mr. Dojin.
The killer's true intent was to make us think that the murder occurred during the show. In other words, they used this device on the web to create a fake alibi. Miss Berry, do you know when this device on the web was set up?
Let me think. The day before the show. I think it was at night. We all started preparing at 9 p.m. We finished it around midnight.
The killer replaced the weights with the dead body afterwards. Okay, so we can probably connect that logic to the fact that the crate of apples was moved, right? Or I guess actually wait, yeah, I'm guessing. So we can probably connect it to that, but also it might make more sense because the thing is that so my logic here is that the person who switched the weights with the body was probably also the same person who moved the crates. But I should probably connect that logic with the elephant first to just because the contradiction in the logic for there is that the apples were missing, so that I can explain that away by just saying, hey, the elephant ate the apples, and then I can probably then say, hey, the crate of apples was moved. The same person who switched the bodies around, or switched the body with the weights. No, even if he knew about the device, it wouldn't be possible for him to use it. You can't teach a dog to suspend a body in a well. In other words, Dojin is not the killer. Okay, so let's start off by connecting the elephant with the missing apples. I probably should have connected this a lot earlier. This probably should have been the first thing that I did. But my mind was too busy trying to piece together how the device would have came about. The apples in the crate were probably eaten by Astique.
But it's strange. I remember leaving the crate out of reach from Astique's nose.
Are you certain?
Yes, the crate was still full of apples on the night before the show.
Then the cart was moved to where her nose could reach it. With that many apples, it could not have been moved by the wind. Most likely, the crate was moved by a person. And now we can connect this piece of logic to the fact that the weights were switched with the body. Prior to the show, the cart's position was already changed, and the apples were all eaten. This appears to be the correct information. Please update the simulation parameters, Kay.
Alright, I'll use the new info to recreate the scene. First, let's return to the during the show scene. Using the info we got from Regina, I'll recreate the scene with the cart in its actual place. Recreation complete.
Alright, and now we can connect the final pieces of logic here, which are that the weights, the person who switched the weights with the body is the same person who moved the crate of apples. This card was moved the night before the show. The body was also switched the night before the show.
I don't think it was just a coincidence.
Keeping that in mind, the question now becomes, why was the cart moved? Probably to get into that door back there. But the question that no one's answering yet is what is on the other side of that door. I can think of only one reason why.
Somebody opened that door! Alright, let's hurry up and...
The door's locked. Yeah, we checked it earlier.
Let's ask a guard. Hey, Mr. Guard!
Yes, what is it?
That was fast. You there. What's the key there? What's the key to this door?
The warden's in charge of it.
Oh, is she now? Well, isn't that just dandly convenient? That the warden's the one in charge of the door. The warden is in charge of the keys here. I mean, logic would... you would logically assume that, yes. Without the warden's permission, this door can't be opened.
Thank you very much!
Alright. High voltage electricity on Courtyard, security camera sensor, okay, it's a security camera. There's a circuit breaker panel, this must be the breaker room.
On the night before the show, somebody came into this room. I wonder why they would come here.
I don't think anyone would confuse the breaker room with the break room. It was definitely to operate the circuit breaker. Okay, so actually this explains the discrepancy earlier, right? Because the security footage was tampered with, right? For a period of a couple hours. And actually that time period perfectly lines up with the time they set up the show. So, where's the security footage we found? It's this right here. So, timestamp was off by 3 hours, the footage was actually taken at 9 a.m. Okay, so, here we go. So, the person who came into the circuit breaker room was trying to shut off the power to mess with the security footage, and the only reason why they would have been doing that, so someone came in here. I'm guessing the warden came in here because the warden's in charge of the keys to come in here and shut off the... But why? Because the thing is, we figured out what Jailbird was doing, and that was satisfying. But it has nothing to do whatsoever with the murder. Nothing at all. Completely separate. It helped us get here. Doing that helped us figure out... helped us get here to this point. But it doesn't have anything to do with the murder itself. So why would somebody have gone into the... What can we control here? We can control the courtyard... security cameras, the sensors. I mean, there's no... I don't think... There's no resolution of the sensors... Wait! 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 The high voltage electricity! The freaking... The barbed wire! The fence! That connects to the... That's it! There's the proof! There's the proof we need! Okay, we got it! We got her now! Okay, so... If you come into this room, you can turn off the high voltage electricity. Now, why would somebody want to do this? The only reason someone would want to shut off the high voltage electricity is if you needed to get over the barbed wire. Now, we know J. Elbert didn't want to do that because he already found his own method of escape. So, why would somebody want to get across the garden on the other side of that barbed wire? Well, as it happens, the warden's office is connected to that garden. So, here's my theory, and I have no proof of this yet, but I am very confident now. So, someone, and you know what, and you know who came in to do it? Frank saw it. Frank saw it is the one who came in here, because prior to today, or prior to the events of this case, his bracelet was broken. He could go anywhere he wanted, and did not need the warden's permission whatsoever. So he comes in here, he shuts off the electricity, and he shuts down the freaking, he shuts down the security cameras to overload the system, which messes with the security footage, and it makes it so that the warden can go through the garden and make her way over the barbed wire fence. And the reason she would have done that, my theory here, is that she got Knightley into her office, killed him there. I don't know why, but she did that, and then went out the window in her office, which is connected to the courtyard garden. We know that. Dragged the body across the garden, scaled the barbed wire fence, which was turned off because Frank saw it. Came here, switched the rates around, tied his body to the rope, so that Simon would appear guilty of the murder. Boom! There we go! That's it! That's what we've been looking for this entire time. The evidence to pin it on her. Or not to pin it on her, but to prove that she's the one who did it. I think we got her now. I mean, we admittedly, we do not have a motive. We have zero motive. But it all lines up a little too well, wouldn't you say? It all lines up just a little bit too conveniently for it to not be her. It's gotta be what it is. That's gotta be what we're going for.
Someone came here to shut off the power to something?
Was there anything that had its power shut off? What could have had its power shut off by the breaker? Well, we have evidence that the security footage was tampered with, so I'll present that. The security camera footage had a 3-hour gap.
Ah, I see. The circuit breaker for the security cameras was stripped.
It's highly possible.
Was this the killer's handiwork?
With the camera down, it'd be easier to move about. The killer would have a major advantage.
I knew it!
If that's the case, the killer was the person who tripped the breaker. I don't know about that. The person in charge of the key to the breaker room is... It couldn't be. Circuit breaker data jotted down in my organizer. We're getting close to the truth. We are rapidly approaching the truth.
Deactivated the recreation.
I think we got the evidence we need. We have the evidence we have the evidence we need to prove that it was the warden working together with Frank Sawit. The only thing we need now is a motive. Like, why would she want Knightley dead? Well, look who decided to show up.
I'm first to the scene as always.
The best. Have you considered just never speaking again for the rest of your life? Good morning, Mr. DeBest.
What? You? How did you get here before me?
I woke up before you.
Greetings, Prosecutor Edgeworth. I see you have arrived early.
Or maybe it is you who are late, Judge Courtney. Ha! Take that!
I have many matters which require my attention. I have no time to waste, unlike a certain prosecutor who has taken up the case.
Ugh. A certain prosecutor who's going to solve this case.
Oh, my apologies. I had forgotten that you are assisting the defense attorney. An assistant can never be the best. You've fallen like the rest.
you just say whatever you like. Don't you see? It's funny because Sebastian de Best is definitely the assistant. He may be the attorney of record for the prosecution, but let's be perfectly clear here. He's the assistant to Judge Courtney. She's doing all the hard work. She's doing all the deductions. She's the smart one figuring everything out. He's an idiot who's twiddling his thumbs and whacking himself with a stupid stick.
Let us begin our examination of the courtyard, Sebastian.
Yeah, good luck. You're not gonna find anything we didn't already find. That would be unnecessary.
What?
We have already finished the investigation of the courtyard. You've been bested.
Bested? Me?
Judge Courtney. Your reasoning from yesterday. Watch me shatter it to pieces.
I would advise you to choose your words more carefully. Have you forgotten that the fate of your badge rests in my hands?
Oh, I haven't forgotten anything. It just happens that we figured basically everything out. I have had enough of such coercion. Can't you think of some other way to threaten me that does not involve my badge?
Despite my repeated warnings, you show no signs of reflection.
Yeah, cause we know that Edgeworth is not gonna lose his goddamn badge. He's Edgeworth. That's never gonna happen.
It seems I must remind you once more. The Prosecutorial Investigation Committee can't leave someone such as yourself unchecked.
Neither the fate of my badge nor the actions of the committee would impede my progress, proving Mr. Keys' innocence. That is all that concerns me.
Your words are like those of a defense attorney. If you are willing to go that far, then I will show no leniency. In the name of the goddess of law, I shall turn your words against you.
Good luck with that.
And at that moment, you will forfeit the title of prosecutor. You shall regret this.
Uh-huh. Sure thing. Okay. Judge Courtney's reasoning.
I shared my reasoning with you the day before. Since Mr. Elbert did not see the body when he passed through the tunnel, it could only have been dropped down the well during the show. The only one who could have performed such an act is the suspect.
No, that's not true. Simon didn't do anything. Simon just got yanked backwards. No. That's just wrong. Naturally, you have evidence to support your reasoning?
Of course she does. Who do you think she is?
I think she's way smarter than you.
Earlier, I received the official autopsy report.
Babysitting that kid must be difficult.
The time of death was the night before the body was discovered. In other words, the day before the show. This cause of death remains unchanged, a stab wound 4 inches deep.
Okay.
Simon Keys was not present on the stage for a period of 15 minutes. There was sufficient time for him to drop the body down the well.
She has not investigated the courtyard yet. That means... it seems there is a hole in your argument. Yeah, because you don't know about the device, so you don't know that anybody other than him could have done it.
Can you present evidence?
Yes, I can. Of course I can, and I will. Just let me get back to the statement where you said that it could only have been Simon, then I'll shatter it to pieces. Okay. So let's present. The music in this game is so good. We haven't heard Joking Motive yet. I hope we hear Joking Motive at least once before the end of the case. Okay. So, open up the court record, the organizer? That's a name. Okay. We haven't used this yet. Objection! Unfortunately for you, Judge Courtney, your argument does not hold any water, just like the well. There was a device set up around the well here.
What is this device of which you speak?
Are you aware of the stunt in which Mr. Keys is blown away by the elephant during the show?
I have heard of it. It would have been right before he exits the stage.
He tied one end of a length of rope to himself, and the other end to a set of weights. He was able to perform the stunt by dropping these weights down the well.
Wouldn't he have spent the whole place suspended up in the air?
That's why he had a stopper attached to the weighted end. The stopper was removed by pulling another rope. Around the well, we found evidence that the weights were switched with the victim's body. This was done by the real killer in order to shift suspicion away from them. Judging from the time of death, the murder was carried out in the early morning of the show. The true criminal had until that time till the show started to set up the device.
But didn't Simon Keys make that thing? And since he was also the one who used it, he is the best suspect. He didn't... Oh, Jesus Christ. Don't you agree?
No. If Mr. Keys were the murderer, he would not have needed to do that. Miss Berry.
Yes?
Was there anyone else who knew of the device he set up?
Well, let me see. Since we had to get everything about our show proved by the people here at the prison, I'd say there were others who knew about it.
Including the Warden. And there you have it.
Ah, I see. You have indeed performed a thorough investigation, which is why I am even further perplexed. Why do you not use your efforts for justice? My actions are not just.
That's a funny joke. Who made that decision?
You cannot understand even that, even now? Providing support to a defense attorney despite being a prosecutor. It is quite unnatural. This goes against the rules.
I am merely choosing to do what I think is right at this particular time. I travel down the road I have chosen. Your comprehension does not matter in the least. However, if anyone intends to interfere, I will show no mercy.
Perhaps this is a calling from the goddess of law, if you intend to rebel against her divine will. I will have no choice but to hand down my verdict. Pay heed to my words. I have one more reason to suspect Simon Keyes of murder.
Oh, and do tell, what might that be exactly? Reason for suspicion.
If the body came from the courtyard, how was Mr. Knightley brought here from the detention center? Only Simon Keyes could have provided such an opportunity.
No. Because we have evidence that the security, the electricity was shut down, and that evidence is that the security footage, the time doesn't line up, and if the electricity was shut down, then the warden could have brought it across the garden over the barbed wire fence.
While Simon Keyes was moving supplies for the show, he visited Mr. Knightley's cell. Does that not strike you as odd? Why else would he have brought a large covered cage with him?
Oh, that does seem pretty suspicious.
Mr. Keyes was merely that kind of person. It is entirely possible that he carelessly brought it there.
If that is possible, then it is also possible that he was assisting in the escape. Am I wrong?
I suppose I must refute her theory with evidence. Oh, well, I would be more than happy to do that. Alright. So, you say that only Simon Keyes could have given the opportunity for the body to be moved, huh? Well, you see, that's where you're wrong, because we have a little thing called security footage. Objection! Mr. Keyes wasn't the only one who had the opportunity.
Who else could have had the opportunity?
The timestamp on the security camera is off by 3 hours. This means that there was a 3-hour gap in time. During that time, anyone could have done it.
If that were the case, then the murderer would have created the gap in time intentionally.
Yes.
It would not have been a simple camera failure.
Yes. I am saying that it's possible. It's possible if you had access to the circuit breaker. Take that! In this courtyard, we found the circuit breaker for the security camera. And it was possible to access the breaker room both before and after the murder.
What?
Unfortunately, it appears that you have fallen short of your intentions.
Mr. Edgeworth hasn't fallen short of anything!
So can you explain how the murderer obtained the key to the breaker room?
He didn't need, well, first off, the murderer wasn't the one to go in there. That was Frank Saw. That's why his bracelet was broken, which is really freaking smart. Oh yeah, that's right, it was locked, wasn't it? That didn't matter, because Frank saw its bracelet was broken. The warden hangs onto the key, right?
The breaker room has great importance even in a prison. There is no one who would be able to obtain the key so easily.
He didn't need the key, because his bracelet was broken. Well, I can think of someone.
What did you say?
This person, the murderer, was able to get the key. They didn't even need to steal it, because they already had it. But I still don't think she was the one to shut down the power.
There can't be anyone like that. Besides, the breaker to the electrified fence is in that room too.
Only one person could have done this. I didn't want to believe it myself, but I trust that my logic is sound. The person who used the key to enter the breaker room is the Warden, Patricia Rowland. Take that! The murderer is...
Well, look who decided to show up.
Warden Rowland.
Oh my, what an energetic little puppy.
That's because this dog is extremely fond of sweets. It seems to detect a sweet scent on you. Oh, does he now? Well, that's just too bad for you, because you know what else had a sweet scent on it? The body.
Oh heavens no, I'm not even wearing perfume or anything of the sort.
What the dog detects is a sweet scent of death. Oh!
How poetic. However, does that not imply that I committed a murder?
That's what I think.
What?
The warden is the murderer? Mr. Edgeworth, are you serious about your statement?
Oh, how amusing. The very thought of a warden committing a murder. It sounds like something out of a mystery novel.
Or a mystery visual novel. Precisely, our reasoning is in
Nothing of the sort. I did not want to believe it myself, but Based on the evidence, I have no choice but to believe it. This evidence proves that Warden Rodent is the murderer, because missiles detected a sweet scent off her.
Take that!
The smell you gave away, as you can plainly see, someone has taken notice. This police dog, he tracked a sweet smell that came from the body, and right now, he is telling us that the same scent is also on Warden Rodent!
You're a cruel one to accuse me of murder based on something like that. Right, Justin, darling?
It appears that Judge Courtney has reached the same conclusion as I have.
Mr. Edgeworth, this couldn't have been just a coincidence, could it?
The key to the breaker room, and the same scent on the body. If it were only one, it could have been seen as such.
It appears we have reached a conclusion. We should now listen to what the Warden has to say.
Indeed, until we do, we cannot close this case.
Oh my goodness, everyone with such scary faces. So I'm the only one who could have been the murderer? That just cannot be.
Oh, really? Well, I'd love for you to tell me how exactly that is.
I heard all about the case from Justin Darling here. Had I committed the murder, it would have taken place inside the holding cell. But I couldn't have moved the body. I never went into the prison. I was caught up in my work. Up until the show, I was stuck in my office.
Well, it's not convenient, because the office happens to be connected to the garden, which is connected to the barbed wire, which would have been shut off when Frank saw it shut down the power.
Check him on if you like, to find some record manager in prison.
See, that's the thing. That doesn't matter, because that's not how you move the body, buddy, and we're gonna get it out of you.
I don't know what reasoning you had, but I can say for sure, I cannot be the killer.
I'm disappointed you, pal. You gotta be the culprit.
Oh heavens, it's not possible. I already told you I never went to the prison. If you think I'm lying, why don't you check the records?
She wants us to check the records. She does seem confident. For now, all we can do is listen to her and try to draw out more information.
I do hope you understand, Mr. Edgeworth.
Oh, I understand perfectly. And I understand you're full of shit. And we're gonna expose that for all the world to see. Doo doo doo. While listening to this epic music. Alright. So the only thing I need here is to get you to tell me exactly, because I'm pretty sure you definitely, so we know how you got into the prison. And it wasn't through the door, so the fact that you aren't on the record doesn't really matter. You did not enter the prison from the entrance. But what if there was another route?
Oh my, are you suggesting something like a secure passage? I don't know if anything like that exists.
It is my firm belief you did possess an alternate route. That route was neither the entrance nor a secret passage. The route you used was from here, was from the courtyard.
The barbed wire fence?
You would have moved nightly to your office first. This office leads directly to the garden side of the courtyard. If you had moved through here and passed the barbed wire fence, you would have arrived at the prison without passing through the entrance or tunnel.
I wonder what Mr. Edgeworth is saying. Haven't you noticed? There's a high voltage current running through the fence.
Not with the electricity shut off, there isn't. Not with the electricity shut off, there isn't.
Yeah, obviously she couldn't have passed through it like that.
The current through the fence could be switched off at the break room. And you were the only one who had the key, Warden Rodent.
Most amusing, however, the breaker room is located on the prison side of the courtyard. How would the Warden have accessed it from the detention center?
All she would need to do was persuade Frank saw it. Ugh, that's...
There's no record of her passing through the prison entrance. It would not have been possible for her to turn off the fence's breaker.
Ugh, but Warden Rodent was the only one who had access.
Don't let this faze you, Miles.
But if I don't have a solution for this, she'll get away.
Now, Uncle Ray never said, don't think, you know. It's just not good to be so stubborn about it, that's all.
But no matter how you think about it, Warden Rodent couldn't have done this alone.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, if you have failed to come with a new I am not amused at interrupting my judgment only to be silent.
Without thinking, I just blurted out, "Objection! I have to answer. I won't let this end here. My reasoning is not over yet. I did not mean to open the court organizer."
So how did she use the breaker without leaving the detention center?
It's perfectly possible. With this method. What made it possible to turn off the breaker? She had an accomplice. It was indeed impossible for one person, but what if there were two?
Exactly. Just what I expected from you, Miles. Yes, you had an accomplice on the prison side.
Enough. I am disappointed in you, Prosecutor Edgeworth.
What's that, pal? You making fun of Mr. Edgeworth?
The inmates of this prison will all wear bracelets.
Oh, not all of them. Not all of them. One of them has a broken bracelet.
So you've noticed, this is a prison after all. Not only the prisoners, but the guards too are under constant scrutiny.
So why didn't anyone notice Elbird?
The only ones allowed to move around freely are the animals. And they certainly could not have used the breaker.
But it's still possible that a person didn't.
Excluding the inmates and the guards, just what kind of person would you say it was?
One. Frank saw it. We can't exclude the inmates and guards just yet. There was only one person, one whose movements was not restricted. This evidence shows that there was someone in the prison who could move around freely, and that is going to be Frank Sawat's broken bracelet.
That is, it looks like the bracelet worn by the prisoners.
This belonged to a certain model inmate, and it's broken.
What? Just who on earth does this belong to?
Frank Sawat, the Warden's favorite inmate. Don't you think it's strange? He managed to keep this hidden while he moved around freely in his daily prison life. Golly, when you think about it, it shouldn't be possible. Oh, she's sweating. She knows we got her. I'd hazard a guess that this was because he was a special case. Just like Sir Indulgent in a special cell.
The prosecutor's statement is mere conjecture.
You could find out by simply asking Sawat himself. It is my firm belief that Mr. Sawat and Warden Roland were partners in crime. Due to their collaboration under the root surfaces, the real route by which Knightley's body was moved to the prison. There were two obstacles that needed to be dealt with. The security camera in the front of Knightley's cell, and the electric fence in the courtyard. Both these problems could have been solved with a single stroke, by having Sawat switch off the breakers in the breaker room.
Mr. Edgeworth, could you wait one moment?
Do you still intend to deny it, Warden Roland?
I give in. I confess.
Well, that was easy.
Warden Roland, no, this cannot be. Yes, it's just as he says. Frank Sawat and I were partners in crime. No way! You did it, Mr. Edgeworth!
Well done, Miles. At last we have the real culprit cornered.
Like Mr. Edgeworth said, Frankie operated the breaker. But we were not responsible for Knightley's...
Oh, come on. We have you dead to rights. You have nowhere left to run. What? Unless you're gonna say that you don't have a motive, in which case, tell me why you don't have a motive and I'll tell you why you do.
Whatever do you mean, Judge Courtney? Would the Goddess of Law hear my confession? The Goddess of Law is merciful. She will absolve you. I was being threatened.
Oh?
That's why I had no choice but to do as I was told. So who was threatening you? Sir Indulgent, that assassin.
He was threatening you?
It's been going on since that man came to the prison. I will never forget that day. When we were both alone, he suddenly said to me,
I have many dogs outside the prison.
Dogs?
Loyal dogs who obey my every command.
I soon realized that what Dogen referred to was not really dogs, but his human henchmen.
Oh, there's the motive. There's the motive right there. Okay, so, she was being threatened, blackmailed, whatever, by the people outside the prison to give him special treatment. So, she intercepted the communications with the chess game between Dogen and Knightley, thought to herself, hey, they're communicating via chess. Maybe he's one of his henchmen, and that's the motive for why she killed him. There we go. There's the final piece of the puzzle.
You better watch how you treat me if you don't want you and your family to become dog food. This is not an intimidating voice at all, but it's the best I got.
I had no choice. I gave him the special cell. I gave him anything he desired.
Anything he desired? You don't mean the supply... Oh! Oh, oh, I didn't see that coming. That's really clever. That's why the well was there. That's really smart. Okay, so the route that they were taking... So, clever way to try to weasel your way out of this. So what she's gonna say here, she's gonna say that, yes, Frank was her accomplice to shut off the barbed wire and everything, but that's only so that she could bring things into the prison, because she was the supplier that Dojin used to get things in and out of the prison. She went through the barbed wire. And I believe that's true, because that would explain why the hole underneath the well had been dug ahead of time. But that's still not going to get you out of this, because you just admitted your motive. You just admitted your motive. That's the final piece of the puzzle. But that's a really, I didn't see that coming. That's a really clever twist.
Anything he ordered, I would deliver to him at an underground dealership. I was the one who won over Frankie. It was simple. I just offered him the special privileges within the prison.
And these underground dealings?
Once a week in the middle of the night, Frankie would shut off 2 of the breakers, so I could move from my office to the courtyard without being seen by the security camera. I would go past the fence and drop the goods down the well near the...
Yup. That... Smart, clever, very clever game.
And I'd sprinkle this perfume over it.
And the perfume attracts the dog, and the dog brings it back.
So that's the true identity of the sweet scent.
The scent of perfume was a signal for Dojin's dog. After picking up the scent, it would carry the goods to Dojin. Of course, this had to be done while Albert was away from his cell.
I'm surprised you never found out about it, pal.
Yeah, I mean, he's not exactly the sharpest knife in the drawer, so... Doesn't really surprise me.
We have a strict timetable here at the prison. Mealtime, exercise time. It's easy to know when he's away from his cell. And since little Rocky's afraid of Dojin's dog, I didn't have to worry about him making noise.
So, having full knowledge of the prison's inner workings, she made the deliveries here herself. This would have ensured there were no slip-ups.
Frankie would turn the breakers back on in the early morning, and the delivery was complete. I then modified the timestamp on the security camera.
You have told us a great deal. The goddess of law accepts your penitent confession.
As the warden of the prison, how could I have done such a foolish thing? The day Knightley was killed was also a delivery day. It seems Frankie was working the breakers as usual. But that day I had nothing to send, so I did not go to the courtyard at all.
The secret of the supply system. So then Warden Rodent was...
The police have been searching for Dojin's henchmen for ages. I've also been helping them, but... I've been interrogating him personally in my office, but... No matter how much evidence we have on him, we can't get a single word out of him.
So the reason you kept on interrogating him?
Yes, it was to find his henchmen. I borrowed all the evidence for the police and carried out the interrogation myself. I kept an eye on all his actions and examined all of his mail.
Just stop talking. You're done. You already confessed the motive, and now you confess as to how you have the motive, because you intercepted the correspondence chest letters. Yep, there you go. We got you now, buddy. You have nowhere left to run.
But I can never uncover that.
Oh, what you thought you did?
You thought you did. This fear, it's something you can never understand.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, you are listening, right? I'd say this confession clears the warden of all suspicion.
Nope, she just admitted to her motive.
Is it necessary?
Yes, it is. Oh, it is absolutely necessary. It is absolutely necessary, because she just confessed to her own motive. Judge Courtney, my questioning is not over yet. I'm sure the goddess of law isn't satisfied yet either.
You mean to badger this woman further?
Even if she was threatened by Dojin, this does not prove she was not the culprit in this case. She was able to use the supply route to transport Knightley's body.
Do you have any evidence to support this?
The body gave off a sweet scent. The scent of perfume that was used to signify delivery. Can you explain this fact?
Oh, of course. Since I have made so many deliveries, the scent would have lingered around the well. When the body was moved through the well, the scent would have transferred to it.
Mr. Albert also testified to this fact.
That's it. For some reason, that well gave off a nice scent.
A nice scent?
I don't know what it was, but it smelled sweet like candy.
The lingering scent in the well would of course be picked up by anything passing through.
Ugh.
The defense rests, I see.
No, not yet, we don't.
In that case, court is adjourned.
Mr. Edgeworth, isn't there anything we can do?
What should I do? Is this as far as I can go?
Is it over?
Oh, shut up. I forgot you were even here.
Yes, Sebastian, it is.
No, it's not. It ain't over yet. It ain't over yet, pal.
And now, court is officially adjourned. Who is that?
Yeah, hooray!
Oh, every time it's so good. It's not nice of you to enjoy things just like that, Courtney Pie. Mr. Shields.
Are you objecting to the court adjourning?
Yeah, of course not. I ain't got no objection or anything like that. Go ahead and adjourn court. Do whatever you like.
Hey, what are you doing, Mr. Shields?
Whoa there, calm down, Kay. Who wants some chocolate?
Is this a joke?
You'll have to excuse me. I just have one tiny request to make. Simon Keith's attorney.
That's right, you're the defense attorney in charge of this case, aren't you?
Exactly. Did you all forget? That's so mean. But you just left everything to Mr. Edgeworth and didn't do anything at all. Yes, that's right. That's why. I mean, he provided the epic music. He's done enough in my book. I thought I'd do my job a bit.
Do your job? That hardly sounds like you at all.
It's to prepare for the trial. I'd like to ask the Warden a few questions.
Surely you jest. What more would you expect to hear from her?
Oh, well, whatever we're gonna hear first, not gonna be as awesome as this music.
Well, Miss Warden, I'd like to hear your thoughts on the culprit.
My thoughts?
Uncle Ray believes that Simon is not the culprit. It seems that Miss Warden also suspects someone other than Simon. I'd like to hear you out. Mr. Edgeworth, what's Mr. Shields up to?
He's trying to lure Warden Roland into testifying. Why was the supply road used to transport the body? I'd say it was to pin the crime on Dojin.
Ah, I see!
If he committed to a murder here, he would be transferred to another prison, one with tighter security.
And that would get rid of the troublemaker.
Exactly. She wouldn't pass up a chance like that.
Hey, hold on a sec. A culprit besides Simon? What do you mean? Simon was the one I'm supposed to prosecute.
Yeah, well, guess what? Plans change.
Exactly, so wouldn't it be better if DeBest also listened to what she has to say? Amazing, Mr. Shields! You managed to drag Mr. DeBest into this too!
Warden Roland, is this acceptable?
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. You understand a woman's heart. Thank you, mademoiselle. Actually, I've thought this over. I'd like to tell you my thoughts. You'll let me speak, won't you?
Oh, of course we will. We would be happy to oblige.
Mr. Shields, awesome!
Ray saves the day again! Phew, that was a close shave. Thank you, Mr. Shields. Now leave the rest to me.
No, I'm still leaving the rest to you. What?
Ask and thou shalt receive.
Remember what I said? A defense attorney never gives up. The fate of our client rests on our shoulders, after all. It'd be uncool if Uncle Ray didn't put that into practice. Now then, Miles, it's your turn to show you'll never give up.
Right.
Well then, will you listen to my story?
Oh, I'd love to. My story.
I believe that the culprit in this case could only have been Dojin. I have no idea what transpired between Dojin and the victim. It simply could have been that Dojin was displeased with him. In any case, he was the one who stabbed the victim to death.
I'm gonna need some proof about that. I'm gonna need some proof as to how, or some evidence as to why you think that.
The victim, Mr. Knightley, was it? I think it is a truly terrible thing.
Taking a man's life, you mean?
That's how you go about saying it, isn't it? If I had been more vigilant, his death would not have happened. That's why I want to clear up his regrets.
Warden Roland, how considerate. I'm sure Knightley in his heaven is overflowing with gratitude.
Is gratitude really what Knightley feels? Okay. I'm gonna need you to tell me why exactly you think that Dojin was the one to stab him, because you just kind of said it. You didn't really give me any evidence. I'd like to hear your thoughts about the circumstances surrounding the murder.
Well, I suppose it was a simple job. During his booking, I learned that the victim had some kind of injury to his neck. He couldn't turn his neck to the right. I remember him saying something like that.
Booking, that's the process one of the goes before being locked up in the detention center. It sounds like you don't really know a lot about Knightley.
I only know a little. In any case, he would have been an easy target for Dojin. Perhaps he used the chisel hidden in the chessboard.
Oh no! You've messed up, buddy. You screwed up. You've made a colossal error. And that's gonna be the nail in your coffin.
Because here's the thing, pal. If you really don't know that much about Knightley, then how did you know about the chisel that was hidden in his chessboard? That is not information you should have been privy to.
We got you. We got you now. Oh, no. Oh, you're going down. I see. This will be a very valuable reference. Could you add those last statements to your testimony?
Ah, you're making me blush. You're so cute. I'm just kidding. I'll continue.
Perhaps he used the chisel hidden in the chessboard? Warden Roland, how you were so close to getting away with it. Objection! Warden Roland, you certainly are sharp-witted.
Enough of the titles. Call me Patty. Patty.
However, there's something you were a little too knowledgeable about.
Uh-huh. Embarrassed?
You're such an inexperienced child, Edgeworth, dear.
Really? Edgeworth inexperienced? Okay. Ugh.
Fight on, Mr. Edgeworth!
You said you didn't really know much about Knightley. If that's the case, how did you know about the chisel inside the chessboard?
Oh, of course. The entrance check.
Objection! Enough with the poor excuses. The entrance check. The chessboard wasn't something Knightley brought with him. It was brought to him later by Mr. Keys. He didn't even have it when he arrived here. Yeah, we got it now. We're closing in on the end.
I'm saying I meant the parcel check.
Oh, buddy. Even if we assumed that, there are still many suspicious points. Why wasn't such a chisel immediately confiscated? Ah! Judge Courtney, did you tell anyone about the trip to this chessboard?
I did not.
If no information about our investigation was leaked, then how did you find out? You could not have examined this during the entrance check or parcel check.
Certainly, someone in the warden's position would never have let a chisel slip by.
Exactly. So, answer this, Warden Rodent. When and how did you learn about the chessboard's secret? In that case, I shall answer for you. It is because...
I give up, Edgeworth, dear. It is as you say. I interrogated Knightley. That's how I learned about
the chessboard. You interrogated Knightley, did you? So, let me guess. You interrogated Knightley in your office, you found out about the chess game that they were playing, you assumed that he was the one who was working with Dojin, you killed him in the heat of passion, and then you dragged his body over to the courtyard when Frank shut down the power.
Enough! It would appear that we have uncovered some vital information. I'll ask you to testify once more, if that's alright with you, Prosecutor Edgeworth.
No objections here.
Thank you, Edgeworth, dear. I'll do my best. Well then, Warden Roland, I trust that there will be no lies from here on out.
The pool of lies is slowly running dry. Soon I will bring out her true nature. We're closing in on the truth. We're almost there. My Story Part 2, Electric Boogaloo.
I went as far as to call it an interrogation. I always make sure to talk to all the new arrivals. Mr. Knightley. Yes, we had a little chat. After our talk, he went right back to his cell, I assure you.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and press X to doubt on that one. She's putting lies on top of lies, not realizing that it only tightens the noose around her neck.
You speak with the new prisoners, you say? That's right. I'm glad you understand.
Your testimony is not solid evidence. It requires more than just understanding.
Well then, Prosecutor Edgeworth, you may begin your cross-examination.
Alright, this is it. Here we go. So, you say that Knightley went right back to his cell. I'm gonna need you to testify more about that because I don't believe you, even for 1 single second. If he really returned to his cell, there's no way he would be a corpse now.
I know you're suggesting that I killed him during the interrogation, but I couldn't possibly have had a motive to kill Knightley.
Yes, you did! Yes, you did, though! Because you intercepted the mail, and you would have known about the memo!
Dojin was the only one I hated, and he had no connection with the victim.
Duh, she only hated Dojin? No. Lies, lies, lies! Please let that statement to your testimony. You're going down. The only thing we were missing in this mystery was the motives as to how she would have, as to why she would have committed the murder. Well, now, we no longer have that mystery because she just confessed to her own motive! Objection! Judge Courtney, I'd like you to have a look at this.
It looks like a record of a chess game. Is there something wrong with it?
This was discovered in the victim's cell. It was Knightley's memo. Warden Roland, you also discovered this note in the very same place, and not just in Knightley's cell, but in Dojin's too, correct?
What are you?
Don't say that you don't know about the chessboard in the special cell. After all, you would have kept an eye on Dojin's actions, down to the smallest details. No, to be more precise, it wasn't Dojin that you needed to keep an eye on.
The warden was searching for Mr. Dojin's henchmen!
From the start, I found it strange that the warden interrogated the prisoners personally, since he used his henchmen to threaten the harm to a family. Warden Roland interrogated Dojin to expose them.
So what are you saying?
As you inspected Dojin's mail, you must have known that he played correspondence chess. And then, Knightley appeared, with a chess memo in his hand. We deduced that he and Dojin were connected. You must have arrived at the same conclusion as well. However, you went one step too far in your reasoning. You thought Knightley was one of Dojin's henchmen, who had come to kill you.
So, that's why you interrogated Knightley, boy. If the boss won't crack, go after his henchmen. In addition, you discovered something when you were interrogating him. Inside his chessboard, you found a portable chisel. The murder weapon. To Warden Rodin, the chisel was a symbol of Dojin, and that was the final straw. You believed Knightley was one of Dojin's henchmen and you killed him! It seems there will be no rebuttal. Judge Courtney, your verdict!
Though it is incredibly unfortunate, there seems to be no room for doubt. I shall announce my verdict for the murder of Horace Knightley.
Come on, what could you possibly have to say now?
Twice my sacred verdict has been interrupted. Who was that? Warden Roland? Oh, how strange. You guys really don't understand anything.
It would seem the one who doesn't understand is you.
Me? Oh, I understand one thing very well. There was a huge contradiction in your logic, Mr. Edgeworth.
Oh, please do tell. Once she's cornered, she starts spouting nonsense. Pay it no heed. Judge Courtney, your verdict.
I am interested in hearing what the warden has to say.
What?
I thought so. I just have one thing I want to say. One? Please take a good look at the autopsy report. The autopsy report? The one I brought with me? I heard exactly what you said earlier, Justine darling. You said the wound was 4 inches deep. 4 inches?
No way.
Could that tiny chisel
Really have made a wound 4 inches deep? That is admittedly a bit of a problem. That does get that's a bit of an issue. Wait, no it's not! No it's not! Wait, no, that just proves my case. That just proves everything. Okay, so the theory up until this point has been that she killed Knightley because she thought that he was one of Dojin's henchmen, and she pinned the crime on Dojin so that he would get thrown out of the prison and moved to a maximum security facility so she wouldn't have to deal with them anymore. So, we know that the chisel could have been the actual murder weapon because it wasn't long enough to go in that deep. But she did have everything that related to Dojin. She took all the evidence because she was trying to figure it out, which means she would have also had the bells. So because she had all the evidence, what she really used was Dojin's knife because she had all the evidence, means she would have also had the bells, and the only two places where those bells are on the dog and the knife. And if she had the bells, she had access to the knife, and she would have used that knife to kill him, and then stuck the chisel in his place to frighten the crime on Dojin. And you know what I just remembered? The alligator was beeping. And I guarantee you, we check that we tell Allie the alligator to open her mouth, and we find the murder weapon there, and close this case for good. Impossible.
How could I have made such an error?
Oh, it's not an error. It's not an error at all. It's actually gonna prove. It's gonna prove everything. It's gonna prove everything we've been trying to.
Oh, I believe that overturns your hypothesis.
Nope. It just makes it even stronger.
It'll be all right, pal. Mr. Edgeworth always.
Whoa, hey now, he's gone all white.
Hey, you're a defense attorney, aren't you? Isn't there something you can do, pal? Do that turnabout thing. Make some earth-shattering objection.
Uncle Ray's a hard worker, but without decisive evidence, we're just whipping the dead horse here.
Does that mean it's helpless?
The true killer is Warden Rodin. If it's not her, then nothing that's happened fits. But the chisel isn't the murder weapon. Are there any other sharp objects here? Yes. Yes, there are. And currently, that sharp object is inside the alligator's mouth.
There are still many mysteries remaining in this case. However, we do not have the evidence to solve them at this present time.
Yes, we do.
We have no choice but to continue this battle in the courtroom.
No.
Objection.
That would just give the killer a chance to destroy evidence.
Are you mocking the court?
No, I didn't mean anything like that. You look perplexed, Miles. Thought of anything yet? The chisel is not the murder weapon. In that case, what is? It's no use. We're back where we started. No, we're not. No, we are not. We can prove everything now. We can prove absolutely everything.
Any baseless statements will be punished accordingly.
It's no good. I can't think of anything. I need more time. I regret to say, I have no...
No, Mr. Edgeworth! Remember what Mr. Shield said. If we give up, Simon will... Have you forgotten that look on his face? He was the one who suffered most from Knightley's death. If we can't save him, who will? Besides, Simon believes in us, so we can't give up!
Kay. Miles, looks like you found a good partner. It's like little Kay says, whenever you're backed into a corner, think of your client. Keep fighting until the very end. Isn't that right? Isn't that the feeling you're getting? Gregory, your old man, no matter what trouble he faced, he would always turn things around and save his client. You've got his blood in you, right? In that case, you're the only one who can turn this around.
Judge Courtney.
The look in your eyes has suddenly changed. If you do intend to speak, you better be prepared to face the consequences. Your logic thus far has been misplaced numerous times. If this were to happen again, I will consider you unfit to call yourself a prosecutor, and you will hand over your badge.
Never gonna happen in a million years. That's right. You can keep threatening it, but it's never gonna happen. My reasoning about this case has indeed been misplaced numerous times. Have I made a grave miscalculation? Wait. My logic is misplaced?
Still silent? I cannot condone this waste of time. Well then.
Mr. Edgeworth!
Mr. Edgeworth! I will announce my verdict.
No, you won't. That's it! I have to turn my logic around. My logic isn't misplaced. It's been misled.
This court finds the defendant, Simon Keyes.
Isn't it a little early to hand down a verdict?
I actually think it's rather late. Don't you agree, Justine, darling? Enlighten us.
What? Try to remember. The eyewitness account about his dog and his absence from the animal show. When I first heard that information, my suspicion immediately fell on Dojin.
I'm amazed you take such pride in retelling your previous failings.
But was that not the killer's aim? What if we assumed that was their intention from the start? Of course, the chisel served the same purpose. Knightley's body was stabbed in the same spot with multiple sharp objects. This shows that he was stabbed with the chisel after the real murder weapon was removed, by soaking the chisel in Knightley's blood. The killer wanted to mislead us into thinking the chisel was the murder weapon. Why? That's because... Why did the killer want us to think the chisel was the murder weapon? To get Dojin expelled. Warden Roland.
Chisel's image?
Mr. DeBest, when you see this chisel, what does it suggest to you?
Something like that Dojin's the killer, right?
Now do you understand? That was the Warden's aim.
Ah!
Indeed, that was from the very beginning, to make Sir and Dojin out to be the killer.
I understand your logic. It is true the Warden did not think kindly of Dojin, but you understand, don't you? This alone does not prove she's the killer.
As I thought, it's not enough. The remaining chance is for me to find the real murder weapon.
If you have no more evidence, I believe this conversation is over.
I could prove it if I found the real murder weapon.
It doesn't matter what you say. We did a clean sweep of this place.
Did you check the alligator's mouth?
It is as Sebastian says. In the end, we could not find any weapons. In other words, such proof is impossible.
No, it's not.
No, the murder weapon must still be somewhere in the prison. As long as this exists.
Security gate?
You remember its name after all.
Are you mocking me?
Yes, I am.
That you can't take metal objects in or out of this place?
Right. As long as those security gates exist, the murder weapon should still be here.
That also means no weapon could have been brought into the prison. In the end, we're back to the same mystery after all.
Judge Courtney.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, surely you've realized if the real murder weapon is still in the prison, one must also consider how it got there in the first place.
The chisel was of course concealed within the chessboard. But the chisel is not the real murder weapon, which means the real murder weapon must have been smuggled in somehow.
The way it was smuggled in, can you prove that?
Yes, I can. Ugh. How Warden Roland brought the weapon into the prison, she had access to all of Dojin's evidence, and the bells were connected to the knives. I just said knives, and it was connected to the knife. You had evidence transfers from the precinct. Yep, there he is. That's where we're going. That's the direction this is headed in. And you know where we're gonna find this knife? We're gonna find it in the alligator's mouth. That's it! She could have used that! This shows another way a weapon could be brought into the prison by use of the evidence from the Dojin case, such as the bells. Yesterday, Dojin said this.
Yes, my bells, they are only 2 in the world.
Only 2?
There's custom made attached to my knife and Anubis's collar.
I can't believe I didn't give that comment even a second glance. So smart, so goddamn clever. It's possible the murder weapon was brought in as confiscated evidence. What? Dojin's knife was confiscated and stored on the premises. Furthermore, a bell was attached to the knife.
It can't be. The bell on that chisel.
Exactly. The killer took it from the knife and reattached it to the chisel.
But there's the only fingerprints on the chisel and Knightley's.
The killer probably wore gloves when they made the switch. She made the chisel out to be the murder weapon by attaching Dojin's bell, and in doing so, made Dojin appear to be the culprit. Furthermore, the handling of the set of evidence that this bell originally belonged to was only possible for someone with the proper authority.
Who, sir? Who had that authority?
Why don't we ask the Warden what she thinks? You can find the bells anywhere. Anyone could have attached it, right?
I see. So you don't know. These bells are Dojin's trademark. There are only 2 in the world.
What?
And so attaching the bell would naturally make you the killer.
Do you have evidence that I have the knife? You don't, do you?
Oh, but I do. Of course I understand. In that case, Mr. DeBest, I'd like to request an investigation immediately.
But if you find it, it'd be problematic for me.
What, buddy? I've had enough to hear with your shit right now. Doesn't matter now. It is necessary that we reveal the truth. You are a prosecutor, are you not?
Well, even if you say that.
Curse this useless prosecutor. Curse this useless prosecutor. If only I still had investigative rights.
Besides, we can't investigate without the Warden's permission. Right?
There's no way she would approve. We have no choice but to investigate ourselves.
If you don't have evidence, there's no use in continuing this conversation. The goddess of law does not smile upon those with no evidence. This will have to be continued in the courtroom.
Not good. If we give the Warden more time here, she'll definitely destroy the evidence. It seems like I have no choice but to raise an objection and stall for time. But I don't have anything definite. Is that really acceptable? Is it really like me to do something this reckless? No, not good. Now is not the time for hesitation. Right now, I'm not a prosecutor, but an attorney's assistant. I need to protect my client. I'm the only one who can save him now. In that case, even if it's a 1 in a million chance, I have to take it. It's sink or swim. Should I raise an objection? Abso-goddamn-lutely, because I guarantee all we gotta do is say, "Hey, Regina, how about you open up the alligator's mouth for absolutely no reason at all?" And look at that, we found the murder weapon. It almost feels like I've turned into a certain bluffing defense attorney. But right now I can't come to a standstill here.
Objection!
Hold it!
Prosecutor Edgeworth, what now?
I just realized something.
What would that be? Pray tell.
Naturally, the whereabouts of the real murder weapon. Dojin's knife!
Mr. Edgeworth, is that really true?
Yes, though it is a lie.
If I find that, I find it hard to believe. This isn't a bluff, is it?
You underestimate me. The word bluff does not exist in my dictionary. Ugh, this is bad for my heart.
There's no way you could know, because such a thing doesn't even exist. Well then, could you enlighten us? Where is the real murder weapon?
Think. Somewhere the police didn't look. A blind spot in this animal-filled prison. A hiding place in the Warden would have complete confidence in. Hiding place. Come to think of it. Yup, that's what we're doing.
It was inevitable. Anubis showed in your mouth.
The same method. No, it couldn't be, could it? Oh, but it could. But there aren't that many ways to hide things from an investigator's eyes.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, how long do you intend to keep us waiting?
It's possible, but I'm taking a big gamble here. The place where the real murder weapon is hidden is the Courtyard.
Take that!
Here in the Courtyard?
Indeed.
That's not enough information. Please show us in more detail.
Oh, with pleasure. Where is the real murder weapon hidden? It is located in the alligator's mouth. That's it. Back then. Who would have guessed that Allie the freaking alligator would be the turnabout for this case? Wow. Of course, that's why the metal detector reacted. Judge Courtney, I'd like you to take a look at this.
The chisel? Wasn't that just a fake murder weapon?
Dojin hid this chisel inside his dog's mouth, and the real murder weapon was hidden in very much the same way. The real murder weapon is in the pond, inside the alligator!
What? What?
We can confirm that the metal detector reacted to the alligator. Judge Courtney, please have the insides of the alligator examined.
I give my consent. We'll have to call a veterinarian. I can make that little girl open her mouth. Can I help?
Yes, go ahead. This is it. The final showdown. It all comes down to this moment. Warden Rodent! Discovering the real murder weapon will settle this matter once and for all. Why don't you do the honorable thing and confess now? So that Regina doesn't have to dig inside the mouth of an alligator, although it would be poetic justice if she did.
I won't have to confess.
In that case, you can just wait for your fate to be sealed.
We found it, sir!
Just where you said it would be!
It's over. Patricia Rowland, the real murder weapon is none other than the Dojin's knife. And the one who murdered the horse nightly can only be you! Gotcha!
Dojin was evil. I didn't do anything wrong. It was completely reasonable. That guy was one of Dojin's henchmen. Him. If only he had never come to my home. I could at least still be happy. My special paradise. He ruined it. All of it. Him. That no-good assassin. Him.
Oh. Okay. Did not see that coming. Yikes. Alright. Wow, that was so good. Oh my god, what an epic showdown. Everything about that was freaking phenomenal.
Mr. the Rest of the Best, we have the results.
The best of the best. It's like even the forensic officers have it tough.
We found traces of Knightley's body on Dojin's knife. It was just like you said. You're the best.
Oh, you're like Alexander Hale. You know, okay, I don't know if any of you have ever read the Spy School series. Great books. A new book just came out this week. It was great. Really loved it. There's a character. I don't consider this a spoiler because it's revealed in the first book. It's a running gag, and if you haven't read the first book by now, which came out in 2012, you're probably not going to. There's a character. Actually, no, I don't even need to spoil it. I guess I already did because I just said the name. But there's a character called Alexander Hale, who everybody thinks is the world's greatest spy in the world, like you're a real life Ethan Hunt, a real life James Bond, but he's not. He's actually completely incompetent. That's what the best reminds me of. He thinks he's all that and he has everybody hoodwinked, but he's actually just an actual moron who can't remember what he ate for breakfast this morning.
Alright, good job, but don't stop there. Keep the praise coming.
Oh my god, this man. This man better have the most emotionally scarring backstory out of any character in the entire series for me to like him. I swear. Because right now, I gotta say, I'm not a fan of the best. From Sorrow.
Well done, Sebastian.
What? Wow. How is everybody hoodwinked?
Huh? What are you talking about, Justine? Hasn't the case been solved already?
We have not yet confirmed if Knightley truly was one of the Dojin's henchmen. There is also a chance that Warden Rodent jumps to the conclusions.
Oh?
That is the remaining uncertainty in this case.
Aha, Anyways, let's keep investigating. Hey, you there, come with me. Since I'm the best, the truth will appear before me first. When that moment arrives, make sure you don't miss it.
Oh my god, this man is the worst. Can we call him the worst? I'm gonna call him the worst. I'm not gonna call him the best. I'm gonna call him the worst.
We live in troubling times.
Yes, we do.
The would-be assassin of the president was found murdered in the prison.
Knightley had not planned to assassinate the president.
The truth is not as vital as you seem to believe it to be. Not to the world. and not to the law. That can't be right! Believe what you will, however. As long as Prosecutor Edgeworth remains a prosecutor, it is an inescapable reality.
A prosecutor is not someone who demands a guilty verdict. That is what I believe.
Those are merely your values. The law is not the plaything of any one person. If you will not submit to that, you will do well to prepare for the consequences.
What's that supposed to mean, pal? Don't tell me you're gonna...
Now then, this is where I must take my leave, Prosecutor Edgeworth.
An admirable opponent. I look forward to facing off against you again in the future. Please leave the worst at home next time. Judge Courtney is right. The law should not serve any one person's desires. However, if the truth is bent as a result of that, can that really be called justice? Hey, Simon!
Ah, Simon!
Ah, there's the victory music.
Boss! What happened? They said you could come out already. Well, honestly, I don't know for sure. All of a sudden, they were like, you're free to go, and you should thank Mr. Edgeworth. Well, that's because he found out who the real murderer was! Really? He did? Mr. Edgeworth? No, wait, even if you glare at me like that, it's useless. I'm innocent after all. You can't make me guilty. What? Simon, you should thank him, you know? You're right. Thank you very much. I want to thank you, too.
Good grief.
Mr. Defense Attorney, can I just ask you one more question?
Yes, you may, but I'm not a defense attorney.
I thought that Knightley and I were friends. No, I mean best friends. I always thought we were. You don't think so anymore? Well, I'm just wondering. There were some things I had no idea about, like how he could hate someone enough to kill them. That's why maybe he never trusted me either.
Well, that's not true. He trusted you to bring the chessboard, didn't he?
Simon, that's not true! You're lying, because if I had known, I could have stopped him. I would have told him he had no need to be angry with anyone.
Mr. Keyes, I don't think he disliked you either. Let's show him proof that Knightley trusted him. He trusted you enough for you to bring him the chessboard.
Take that!
That's what I gave to...
Knightley hid a chisel inside it, most likely to aid in his escape.
Escape? He used me?
He trusted in you. He knew you'd bring it to him without looking into it and without question. And in doing just that, you were caught up in everything.
What? Knightley, you idiot! Looks like he gets it! Simon is not as dumb as he looks after all.
I never thought he was stupid. I just didn't trust. Like, honestly, out of the gate, I'm like, I have no reason to believe you're innocent. And then obviously, as we got further into the case, we found evidence that, yes, he was innocent. But I still am not the biggest fan of him because I think it's just something in my brain that's just like hardwired to immediately dislike anybody that has any association whatsoever with the Big Top Circus. But whatever.
I'm sure I'll be back to normal by tomorrow.
Was that supposed to be a compliment?
Oh, I'll be strong. I'll become a splendid wild animal trainer for Knightley's sake.
Excellent. That's the spirit. That's the spirit of justice. Meanwhile, we're still playing Ratatouille up here with the monkey.
I almost forgot. If you like, please come to our next show.
No. Absolutely not. No. I will be staying far the hell away from the Berry Big Circus for the rest of my life. This was already too much. I'm never coming back.
The Berry Big Circus is always fabulous and fun for all ages. Wow, it sounds like fun. Let's go, Sir.
No. But I'll think about it. No, we're not going. We're not going. You can go if you want, but I'll be staying home.
Well, we need to get back to practicing right away. You'll be with Regina today. What? The tiger? No way. He'll be fine. He's a good boy. No way. There's no way he'll be fine.
Yeah, Regina doesn't really have the best track record with dangerous animals and people getting involved with them.
Please cut me a break, boss.
And there they go. But man, bravo, you've really put on a good show today, Miles. It's all thanks to you, Mr. Shields. Without your help, she might have gotten away. Not to mention allowing us to continue the investigation.
Oh man, cut it out already. You're gonna make me blush.
I never knew when you are being serious. Uncle Ray is always serious, that's a lie.
So how was it, Miles? How did it feel to be a defense attorney? To save people?
A defense attorney?
But that really took me back. It was just like being next to your old man again. Haha, it's been a while since I felt this good. It was, well, it's somewhat difficult to say it was a good thing. Come on, Miles, are you sure you don't want to be a defense attorney?
What?
You know, pick up where your father left off. Don't you want to save people like he did?
What are you talking about, pal? I started as a prosecutor.
But is it really that unusual for a prosecutor to become a defense attorney these days? Unusual isn't the problem here. Hey, don't be so upset. It's normal, you know. Normal. It's not.
Normal, pal.
Haha, you all make for a powerful defense team.
Mr. Shields, I'm a prosecutor.
And Uncle Ray is a defense attorney. That's why I'm being serious about this. Well, feel free to drop by anytime if you have a change of heart. I'll be waiting for you.
Follow in my father's footsteps. Me, become a defense attorney. I'm going to become a defense attorney just like my dad. Should I become a defense attorney? Like my father? Well, we know that doesn't happen because we've played Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice. Wow! Wow! What a case. What a freaking case. That was so good. That was so good. Oh god, where do I even begin dissecting that? So, Ray, we met him. Awesome. Really just, the way the thing that I can ultimately boil it down to just the fact that that mystery was so cleverly constructed. Prison, that was a great place to set a murder mystery because it's essentially one giant locked room mystery, so that was clever. A lot of backstory went into the Warden, and those final plot twists, oh, so smart, so cleverly constructed. The only part where I was even a little bit annoyed was the part with the stupid rope, where it's like, hey, you gotta present the device, not the rope, but whatever. The whole case was so good that ultimately didn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Oh, I love this. This is so good. I don't know that I buy the whole defense attorney thing, though, because like, we've played future games, so we know that he still is a prosecutor, but that said, that's not a fault of the game, because this came out before Dual Destinies, so the fact that they're actually, like, trying to do something interesting with his character in terms of, like, where he stands with that, that's really, really cool. Because that's something that I wanted to see in the first Investigations game, is like, because if I want to play as Edgeworth, I want to get inside his head, you know, like, think, like, sort of get into his thoughts and think more about, like, see how he thinks and how he processes things and how he differs from everyone else and, like, have his own character arc. The first game did not give us that, but it looks like this game might actually give it to us, so I'm excited to see where this goes. Alright, that'll be it for now. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned next time to catch you all tomorrow. Oh, by the way, hope you enjoyed the double episode treatment, because I'm pretty sure both these episodes were very, very long, so this will not be happening again for some time, but that'll be it for now. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned next time to catch you all tomorrow for the start of the third case of the game, which I believe is called the Inherited Turnabout. Goodbye.